celebrate one woman. Well, somehow we happen to have a lot of topics going around women today. It's not by design. I guess it just happened. It's a coincidence. Anyway, starting the show in this hour, journalist roundtable kicks off. We'll be talking about three of the hottest stories that have happened through the course of the week and what, of course, is the way forward. The journalist joins me, as always, to have that conversation. At 11, Barrister Debbie Effion from Alive joins us as a guest for today on Search for Common Ground, speaking about the role of women in peace building. That takes us to noon, where the major news comes up. And at 12:30, I'll be speaking with someone in the startup space. It's SMEs and startups. They'll be telling us about their challenges and, of course, victories doing business in this part of the country. 1 o'clock brings lunch hour. And finally, at 2, it's Infotech. Also talking about the role of women in tech. I'm going to
Get in tune with the trending stories. Have conversations with the experts. Ask the questions you've always wanted to. And get invited launch. The Media Dialogue gives the opportunity to explore.
Gabby sent something that looked like it. My WhatsApp.
On 92.3.
You didn't get it?
Nigeria in.
Yes, welcome, sir. Okay, so journalist roundtable. We're talking of the statement of the army. We're starting with looking for our policemen in River State. We don't know where they are. So we'll start with that local, then go to the army statement, then go to the judicial panels across the country. Yeah. Welcome back. It seems we are looking for police officers. If you find an officer of the Nigeria Police Force, please return him to a police station or to where he belongs because we desperately need them now. For basic reasons. I got a call yesterday. Someone said the traffic in some parts of town, because there was no one controlling, was impossible. Where are our policemen? Well, a security analyst, Stanley Software, had advised residents of Port Hackett to be more vigilant following the inadequate police presence within Port Hackett metropolis. And Software told our correspondent that security agencies are afraid of being assaulted by hoodlums throwing recent attacks on police facilities and burning some of their offices. Correspondent monitored Aji, Father George, and Rumokuta roads yesterday. Reports there that there are no traffic wardens on the road. Traffic wardens seen on the Rumola flyover did not wear police uniforms. Well, the hoping side, there's a man who might know where the police officers are. Joshua Rogers, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
It's nice to have the front page on Wednesday.
Yeah, we can have it all day.
All right, so where are our policemen, Josh? Where have they gone?
Probably they should be at the barracks. They should be in their houses. They were afraid. Anybody could be afraid. You can't hear the news or see photos of your colleagues being burned, see offices, your police stations being attacked, vandalized, and set on fire, and then you will feel safe on the streets. Whoever that has done that, that is very condemnable. Yeah, whatever that has happened in the nation in the past 2 to 3 weeks was not to attack anybody, was to change the system and not to encourage crime. They are human beings, they have families. So they are also being they are also in the same system that we are in. They are also craving for change so things can be better for them. So attacking them was very unnecessary. And whatever step they are taking to protect themselves, because they are human beings, we should understand. And their absence from the streets should call for better discussions on how we can do policing and get things right.
All right, so lots of people have said it's because of fear. you know, that's speculative. Guys or for themselves, what they draw for a bit. Maybe not necessarily fear.
No, it could be fear because if the police want to re-strategize, they don't need to pull everybody out of the streets. And then the strategy is not to be discussed by everybody. It's to be discussed by top ranking officers, and then they know how to pass information to the various unit heads. And even within a unit of the police, you still have team members. So within the unit, they can also pass information to the team leads, and then they will communicate to the rest to send what they call signal. So you don't need to pull everybody out of the street. You don't need to make the place very porous for crime to criminals to operate just because you want to strategize. So definitely it should be out of here.
But that's a solid point. Let's go to how it affects us. First is traffic.
Yeah.
People have complained. I mean, Huge has been known to be a traffic city, but now it seems the traffic is higher than it's always been. And I'm concerned for everyone really, those who have cars and those who are in cabs. The car hailing service where they pay you for how long you spend in the cab. Imagine if you ordered one of those, services and you're stuck in traffic, you're going to pay more.
No, it's good for some persons. Like trekking is good.
All right.
But jokes apart, Sam, in 3 weeks or thereabout, we have learned a lot. We have understood the importance of the next person. The people in offices now understood that the masses are important and they are powerful. Even the masses are now understanding that even the police officer that you think is just a commoner on the street because it directs you on how to drive is also very important. Just one of them, sometimes we disobey them. Sometimes we don't see them as being important because for them, they're not doing enough. But now they are off the streets. We're not calling them to come back. So if we all, by this week or next week, we are coming back to our businesses, we are coming back to the normal life that we've been living, everybody will live understanding that we respect and everybody is important. If today we start driving at Location Junction on the other George, Aba Road, and you see a police officer, you're not just going to dismiss the person with the usual discriminating language or derogatory language we use, yellow fever. It's no longer going to be just a yellow fever. It's going to be a police officer whom you sought his service when he abandoned you and you stayed in your car and wish that you could just park and trek home and come back and pick your car the following day. That is the importance that this is placing on everybody right now.
That's what's supposed to happen. But Nigerians be Nigerians. I don't think everyone's going to learn that lesson.
Definitely, not everybody will learn. Just like not every politician will learn from the NSAS protest. And the same way, not everybody who organizes the protest will learn from the aftermath of the protest. For those who, I always say, for those who will not want to learn the positive things from what has happened, the system should have system is able to take care of the good people and take care of the doing because they know that they could walk free. So if I have committed an offense, I've committed a crime, and then I know what the law has said and I went ahead to do it, I should be ready to face the law. And when you, like what I said about the protest that happened, the protest didn't say do not arrest anybody who is a fraudster or who is an internet, usually 419 Yahoo person.
It was not to endorse criminality.
Yes, not to endorse criminality, not to say allow me to work freely. But it is that if I have committed a crime, there is a process. You understand? So that process is what we all want. That is what will make Nigeria the dream nation that we want. So for officers, right now people are complaining about some security personnel collecting money from them, trying to bring goods, food items into River State through Oyigbo.
Yeah.
Those kind of people should not be allowed to continue their service there and should not only be taken off the street, but should be punished using the appropriate means the law has stated and the police act has stated. Yeah. So before you are swearing an oath to become a police officer, you are also saying that if I commit a crime using the uniform, using the guise of being a police officer, there is a punishment for me. So if also I have done well, there is also a reward for me. That is what we are saying. For the good ones should continue to enjoy the goods of the land. For the bad ones, there is a place for them.
All right. Well, speaking about bad ones, it seems there are lots of bad ones in the next story. The 81 Division of the Nigerian Army, Lagos, has accepted that its troops were invited to enforce the curfew imposed on the state by the Lagos state government. That the troops were requested to restore law and order 24 hours after the curfew was declared. The army, however, insisted that the soldiers did not shoot at the entire protesters, adding that the personnel acted within the confines of the rules of engagement for internal security operations. This, of course, was contained in a statement signed by the acting deputy director of the 1 Division Army Public Relations, Major October Olani. Josh, the army admits that they were invited by the state government, but that they did not shoot anybody. What do you make of this?
I'm glad that this story is going this way.
Mm.
This morning, when I was listening to after the news, during the newspaper review, somebody sent in a comment, an opinion, that the army has accepted that if you give them some time, they could come out and tell you one person died, no more than one person died.
Mm.
That may not be the true story at the end of the day. But like I said, you remember on the front page, that is during the front page on Saturday, I said something that justice may not come now. I cited an instance of what happened in Rwanda, the genocide in Rwanda. It was until May this year that a businessman was arrested in France for funding that genocide. It was till last week or this week that another guy was arrested who was a shopkeeper who wrote the names of some persons he wanted to be killed from another tribe. And they actually did kill those people. He was just arrested just this month. And these arrests are happening. The prosecutions are happening 26 years after the genocide. So the Lekki toll gate shooting may not get the desired justice. They may not get the justice today. Some people who even took part in the process leading to that killing may even have died before it started happening. But even if it is one person that is left behind, or even if the rest are going to be sentenced posthumously, but I know that one day the truth will be out, justice will be served. Look, that protest was happening. The video footages we saw and the live streaming from people's Instagram pages and Facebook pages were happening spontaneously. It was not what was edited. It was not what was taken to the house and then posted later. It was happening. The commentaries the people were saying it as it was happening.
In real time. Yeah.
That I covered the protest where people protested from Obirikwere here through SAS Road.
Yeah.
And then gunfire, former SAS officers or policemen there started shooting. If you watch that video, you will hear me saying they are releasing shots, they are firing to the air. That thing was happening. I didn't plan it. I didn't script it.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a video that we will definitely need to use on our social media handles to let people know how the protest went.
While you were running.
No, why I moved. I just shifted.
You just moved.
I just moved a bit. I took cover.
Yes.
So I can report appropriately.
Okay.
So that happened just subconsciously.
Yeah.
You were not planning it should happen.
Yeah.
You understand? So, but because people were watching at that time, you just need to tell the story.
Yeah.
So that was what happened at Lekki Toll Gate. People didn't go to the house and did a voiceover and start editing the video and then superimposing something with another. No, they were just telling you this is what were happening, and then you were hearing shots behind. Then you saw people wearing camouflage. You saw cars that came in. You saw the kind of ammunitions. You saw the pellets that were expended, the bullet shell on the ground. Certainly there was shooting, whether people died or not, which I have seen videos and it looks like it happened there. Time will tell. The people who had those videos, who have the videos, who took those shots, should be able to keep them, give it to good analysts, let them analyze it, and then present it at the judicial panel that is happening across the country.
Yeah.
If nothing good comes out of it, you can take it to a higher authority. Someday you could find it way to an international community where we will definitely get justice. But I know that if one person died there, the blood of that one person would certainly draw justice.
All right. Well, at this moment, Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, and the army currently trending on Twitter. Of course, all connected to the statement by the Nigerian army. But let's look at the irregularities, with this particular story. When this happened, I think the governor of Lagos wanted an interview 2 days later, if I'm not mistaken. It happened on Tuesday. On Thursday, I believe, he granted an interview. No, there was a briefing on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Across, you know, the stated that there were no casualties. That was his first position. Then later, someone phone changed to powers above me.
No, he first said the powers above the control of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas they now had an official state broadcast where he said nobody died. I think he spoke to an international organization, to a media organization,
Yeah.
and said, I think his reason then was that no parents or nobody had come to report that their person was missing or their person who was part of the protest was missing.
So he used that to, say that invited for different stories. How exactly could this affect this investigation?
What you have said is about what you can show, the proof that what will take place. First of all, I started something. I will forget it. He found the camera.
Oh, come on.
First, I found the camera. Sam, that is the beginning. Yeah, let's get the memory card. Let's see what that camera is.
Okay.
All right, so the investigation will definitely look at for the facts. It's not about emotion. It's not about it can be your comment, your statement versus mine. But at the end of the day, it's what we are able to present on the table. That's why I asked this question to a retired AIG, police AIG, Felix Oboid, when I interviewed him the other day, as on Monday. He said some of those cases will be, you can get justice. But a lot of them that happened on the street, on the road where officers allegedly intercepted people, asked them for, you understand, harassed them, but they were not documented, they were not recorded. So at that point, you didn't know it will happen. They just accosted you and the whole thing started. You can't bring out your phone, you can record, but those ones. So no matter how you feel, no matter the kind of bruises, no matter the kind of injuries you sustained, the process, be it the emotional pain that you went through, the trauma and everything, you will say it how you feel. You can cry, but if you are not able to present the evidence, you can't get justice.
Oh, that's good.
So we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
All right, so we're broadcasting from Port Harcourt, South Nigeria. Sam, say hi.
Hey, what up? Right?
Yeah, I have. So
Hello.
it's still about the aftermath of the NSAS protest in Nigeria. We're discussing how it's affecting policing in Rivers State here where we are. On the streets of Port Harcourt, the capital city, policemen have left the streets because after the NSAS protests, what looked like ethnic fights between the Igbo tribe and the Hausa tribe resulted to some people going to burn police stations and then set some policemen on fire. So that's definitely triggered fear, and then policemen left the streets. Now there is traffic jam in all parts of the city, and then there is fear that crime could increase if these policemen are not back on the road. So trying to see how we discuss that on the Journalist Roundtable, a program on 92.3 Nigeria Info radio station in Port Harcourt, to see how we can get solution to the problem. So just hang on with us.
RelianceHMO.com/corporate or call 0700-7354-2623 to get a quote for your company and start enjoying reliable healthcare today. Reliance HMO, you can rely on us. Are you looking for that platform that covers all your punting needs? Look no further, as ActionBet is here. With ActionBet, whenever you play, you're a winner. Even if up to 4 games contract tickets. Also, no data, no wahalas. Players can access www.actionbet.ng with no data at all, 24/7 on all 3 major networks. Yes. Good odds, efficient payouts, superb customer service, all in one. ActionBet. Think bold, take action, win big.
What do you need to say, you learn that like this. I like to do well. Some things that you study. But I remember one day that I got to see myself.
Now the 10 million naira grand prize keep you not be that one customer only from our site or buy a new line in addition to the blazing videos and smartphones we for summer you with 1 gigabyte plus 500 naira airtime instant plus also 100% data bonus for 1 year. Recharge 200 naira and above. Make you for the win. Promo starts August 10th and ends November 7, 2020 and is approved by FCCPC. Line Mobile.
In times like these, we need to be extra careful about sharing unconfirmed reports in order not to mislead others. Double check before sharing on any social media platform. What's more, we plead with everyone to be calm. We at 92.3 Nigeria Info care about your well-being. Stay safe, stay alive.
Welcome back. It's the Journalist Roundtable at 92.3 Nigeria Info. And I'm Arsenal, and I have
Joshua Rogers.
Yes, thank you very much, Joshua, for being here. Now we'll talk about missing police officers that desperately looking for, and of course, the statements from the Nigerian Army. But I'd like to highlight what Josh said earlier. The retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Felix Ogudu says the video footages that were shared online during the reported shooting at Lake Colgate will be useful in investigating the incident. Told Nigeria Info that investigation will, however, be easier if protesters captured the registration number of vehicles that were used by the uniformed men during the shooting.
If they are people are able to take note of the kind of vehicles and their registration numbers, their plate numbers, that would be a good solution to traffic control. As you are denying. But nobody talks about the plate numbers and all of that.
Now, we said Nigerians should begin to bug themselves with spy cameras to document police brutality for proper prosecution.
Also, facilities are so available now. Even though they are watching, there are video recorders that look like this one in your hand. But when the man crosses his fingers and this one is looking at you and looking at your direction, he's recording everything that they are doing. Then, of course, they also have CCTV. But one of these are not available. It is very, very, very difficult. It's a big challenge. What we need to do is to be very, very careful.
All right, Josh. This is a good idea, but I don't think it's very easy to do. You know, to bug yourself, you have cameras, you have, devices that could record audio and video and all of that.
So sometimes you just need just like a wristwatch. So it's as simple as wearing a wristwatch. Checking, just wearing a wristwatch is okay. Then you just learn maybe how to stand. Maybe you can place your hand at the back like Pashala was doing maybe for the camera. Or
in a position that captures.
Yeah, so you just place your hand in a position that you're sure is going to capture. So maybe when you buy it, you just do little practice in the house with your sibling, your kids, and her to see different heights.
Just do as you don't harass me now. Let me see.
Yeah.
So you position the watch.
So you can try someone who's as tall as I am, someone who's as short as you are. So it's not too.
Yeah, but the thing is, when I say that is some of these gadgets are not exactly cheap. I remember when we had the burning on Lekki, no, Federal Bridge, the one where the tanker.
Yeah,
there was a footage from a dash cam, somebody's car.
Yes.
They had this where, according to that video, it seemed the guy he just drove past that particular tanker, and moments, just a few seconds after the explosion happened, and you could hear people in the car panicking and speaking in Yoruba, that this just happened. So I see how important that was, to give people that picture. But not everybody might have access to such technology because it's not exactly affordable.
Well, it's not also that expensive.
Okay.
It's not as expensive as your life. Life is very expensive, and there is no amount of investment that can be too much for you to be able to protect your life and get justice. If we are living in a very difficult time and in an analog system that Nigeria is still operating, so there is need for us to do these little things for ourselves, and even for people who have maids at home and you don't trust what is happening at home, you can still have these cameras at home, because you cannot say 10,000 naira is worth the life of your child, or it's even worth your own life. It can even be the one on the dashboard, like your car. You can have one your hands and then your car, because sometimes you see some people drive anyhow, and then they use the simple traffic rule that if you hit me behind, you are at fault. But then they are the ones who just drove some silly kind of you don't even know how to apply the brake at that time, and you just allow the car go and say, because you hit me, let it come, they will see that you are the one that hit me from the back. So those can save us some of these arguments. So you just leave the street, just leave the road for traffic to flow, and then you have the issue settled with your camera.
All right, we'd like to hear from you now. Are you, just as we are, looking for our police officers? How has the absence of police presence affected you personally? The traffic, the crime? I would like you to share that with us. What do you make of the different stories emanating from the NSAS protest shooting at Lekki? Yami has said one thing, the state government, Lagos State that is, has said another thing. And of course, we just added the need for security to that. It's important to have some gadgets to record video and audio that might just save you. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. Good morning. Morning, please turn off your radio. All right, go ahead. All right, so there's no proof yet. Hello. Okay, so the question, who shot the protesters is the question that needs answering. And we cannot call it fake news on any side yet until investigation is complete. And it's been proven beyond reasonable doubt that this is what it is. And from there, we would know who was lying and who was not lying.
I think the only truth that is out right now is that yes, soldiers were actually deployed to enforce the curfew imposed by the state government.
Nobody is denying that.
Yeah, nobody is denying that one. But that who shot at the protesters? Was anybody killed during the protest? These are the things that we need strong evidence to be able to prove.
All right, good morning. Morning, Talk Radio.
Which area is that?
Well, it's not if. They would need to come back. We need security.
Yeah, they will need to come back.
Yeah.
I know sometimes it sounds very, don't really sound nice that policemen are running away from what they're supposed to be protecting. But that tells you the inadequacies and everything. But the system is not normal. So in an abnormal system, you expect so many abnormalities to happen, including police trying to protect themselves when there is unrest, when they're supposed to be stopping the unrest from happening. But that is the reality that we are now. I expect that very soon everybody will begin to take responsibility and respect each other.
Yeah, well, abnormalities, that's something the average Nigerian is used to. I mean, it's like the joke. I don't know if anybody had seen it, but it's a popular joke where people say you go to the place and they're using gen.
Yeah.
You know? So,
you go to a police station and they are locking their generator.
so I don't know.
They change the generator.
That's crazy. It's something that Nigerians have come used to. You know, it's a very part of us. So get used to it. Hopefully, we can correct it. Hello, good morning. Morning. Go ahead. Well, I get the sentiment, but this is how it happens everywhere in the world. You know, they don't refuse to touch something because of how old it is or how much time it has taken. Josh, I'm sure you'd want to react to that.
I want to, what's talked about over 1,000 people were there. Was he expecting that you just call all those who went there, all the security men who went there, and then you commit them to jail? That would be encouraging jungle justice. That they were all there still doesn't mean that all of them shot, or perhaps if there was a shooting, all of them shot at the protesters. So even amongst all of them that were there, you will still have to figure out whose bullet killed someone. See, because all of them are not going to get the same sentence.
Yeah.
So some could be 1 year, some could even walk freely, even though they are members of the team.
Yeah.
You remember what happened in the US about this black guy, George Floyd? They were a team. The guy who pinned his knee on his neck,
He was a killer.
was a killer. The others could be accomplices. Even the guy who stood aloof was not even part of it. Maybe I think that one walked away. Because,
yes. There was another. Yeah,
there was one who just stood. So that one walked away freely because he was not part. Even though he was a member of the team. But this is the law. You have to bear the responsibility, your own responsibility. I cannot carry your cross for you. You should carry your cross.
investigation would reveal rather. Not just how many people were there, but had what role
to play. Yeah.
Very popular example. There's a documentary which came out, recently, which adds facts to a lot of things people know. It's titled "Who Killed Malcolm X?" So, in the famous Malcolm X assassination, there were three shooters. One with a shotgun who shot first, and others with, small firearms that continued to shoot. My investigation revealed that he died from the first bullet from the shotgun. So when they were done, it was the shotgun guy that they say killed. Everybody shot, but the first guy killed. So investigation reveals this kind of detail.
Yeah.
It's not, 5 soldiers opened fire or whatever. This soldier shooting from here, his bullet touched so and so number of people. This one, maybe did not touch anybody, he hit pole. So that's what that detail is supposed to provide.
Yeah.
So it tells what punishment will follow. All right, over to WhatsApp. Sam, you see why we keep telling police to be kind to people, but they act as if they are gods. Now they're afraid of coming out. And not in support of the attacks on police officers, because I have uncles who are policemen. Okay. Thank you very much. Josh, not all police people want the change we need. Most of them are comfortable with it, considering the money they make on our roads. I think Josh made that clear earlier. Possible reasons why police may be off the streets, and he has given 3. Number 1, fear for their lives. 2, anger at the public outrage against the police. And 3, to teach the public a lesson.
But I don't think that police people should be. What happened, especially in River State, what happened with the police attacking police officers? Were not done by Rivers people, were not done by residents of River State, were not done by youth who were agitating for a better Nigeria. It was simply done by hoodlums, by miscreants, which the governor has already addressed. And I think the police have already made an arrest. And yesterday they were prosecuted and remanded to the correctional center. So we expect that also the process of investigation should be able to reveal who is actually responsible, and the person should pay for the crime. So that crime was committed by a few disgruntled persons who had an agenda separate from the real agenda of the NSAS protest, which was to change Nigeria, including the lives of the police officers. After all, the police officers are even to benefit more from this than us, because right now their salaries are being reviewed upward.
Yeah.
And we're still talking about how Nigeria should be better. So the protest is even benefiting the police more.
Really, the protest is full Nigeria. Raj Valley has broken a couple of things. He leaves the fact down on WhatsApp. It says fact, where the police personnel, I beg your pardon, where the army personnel are Lekki, okay, yes. The army shoot at Lekki protesters, yes. Did anybody die during the protest? Yes. Did any protester die from gunshot at the toll gate? Well, Raj Valley, some of the yeses that you've dropped is what investigation is trying to reveal.
It looks like he has some things to prove. The panel is ongoing. You can go to any state and submit, especially Lagos State. Theirs is going on. I started yesterday. Submit your evidence and
All right, the army were on one end and the protesters on the other end. If the shooting came from behind, the protesters will run towards the army. It came from the army. Retaliate or be from warfare says. And Simon and Josh, good morning. Could be the soldiers that were invited are still the ones headed to Photoshop. Here's I saw where the soldiers were shooting. It was into the air. That caused pandemonium and resulted in a stampede. Isn't that culpable homicide or at least manslaughter? So the panel, the police have refused to pay him compensation despite a court order. All right, so we couldn't quite get everything we're saying, but it's obviously a man narrating,
Yeah, how they sold his property, so they will have to raise funds to get him out of detention. I think he stayed there for 47 days, and the process is still was extracted, and he was tortured. You see, the issue of police brutality is not new, and of course, you saw the anger in the minds of in the eyes of Nigerians when they protested 2 weeks ago and slept on the streets. For the first time, Nigerians took this bold step, at least in my lifetime, and then I know that something will happen. And I think that the panels that have been set up, they should please not let this government narrative drive the process. They should not also let the emotions from our own side, the side of the youth and other Nigerians, drive the process. Let the process of the law take its course.